Hello, welcome to Waypoint Survival. Today, I want to show you the vintage block trap, which is great for catching raccoons or other small game. Stay tuned. To make this project, you're going to need just a few tools. I've got my tool roll open here, and what we're going to need is a small hammer, some kind of a saw, hardwood handle, going to need my Bushcraft 1-inch auger. I'm going to need the hatchet, some wire. I have some 2.5-inch hardwood finishing nails that I sharpened really sharp. And then also you're going to need a fence staple. And that's all we need, other than we're going to need a piece of wood. And here I have a piece of oak that I cut down. This is red oak. And we're going to be cutting a piece off of that and showing you how this project works. Make sure that you stay tuned to the end of this video, as I have some important details to share with you about this block trap. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a section of this log, and you want something that's ideally between 4 to 6 inches in diameter to do this, and you want it to be relatively free of knots. So I've got a nice section right here that's going to work perfect for that. Now it's best, before you do anything else, that you go ahead and drill your hole. So what I'm going to do, take the cap off of my auger, and I'm going to put a hole right here in the very center of my log. Alright, we've got that about as deep as we want it, according to the side of the log. We don't want to go all the way through the bottom. We want to make sure and leave an end. If we do happen to go all the way through, we'll have to put a plug on the other side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this so that when we trim it down, it'll be basically even all the way around. So about here, and right about here. And I'll go ahead and cut that, and I'll get back with you when I'm done. Alright, and there we go. And that's the block that we're going to work with. So the next thing that I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to take my hatchet and I'm going to square this off, and I'm going to start with the front where the hole is. And again, it's important that the hole is deep, that it's almost all the way through, but you want to leave about maybe 3/4 of an inch on the back for squaring. And of course, I'm wearing a glove for safety. Turn it over, do the other side. Make sure we get everything squared and flat. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, now we'll go to the back. We want to square that off. Okay, so we've got the front and the back flattened. See what that looks like. And now we're going to start on the sides. And there we have it. We have a nice block with our hole in it. So the next thing you want to do is get your nails, and I carry mine in this little plastic tube, and we're going to need 5 of these for this project. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put the rest of them back in here. Keep these safe. You can carry these very easily with you into the backcountry. And as I said, I have sharpened these much sharper than they would be normally. You can do that with a file, or you can do it on a grinder with a grinding wheel. Alright, now the way this works is we're going to put 5 in here. And we're going to put 2 towards the top and then some around the bottom. And we're just going to start at an angle. And you want this to angle in deep. I'll do that and I'll show you what that looks like. But you want to do about a 45-degree angle, maybe a 55-degree angle, something like that. So this is kind of what we look like right here in the top. Alright, there's one. The next one goes in on the other side, opposite, angled the other direction. Now it's a good thing to use hardwood on this because softer wood will just split. Then at the bottom, we're going to put one in the very center. Alright, I'm going to put one on this side. And we'll put one over here. Go ahead and bend these down like this. Alright, if you've done it right, you should have something that looks like this. And of course the raccoon or animal will put his paw in and get it stuck and can't remove it. You could put honey in here. You could put the remains from a rabbit or a frog or whatever you have, whatever that raccoons like or whatever game you're trying to catch. Of course, when you find the animal, you'll dispatch it and then you remove the leg, just the front part of the foreleg, to get it out of the trap. Alright, next, in a 35mm film canister here, I just carry some staples. Just plain fencing staples. They're very inexpensive. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the block so we have something to attach it with. Alright, something simple just like that. So we find a spot that we want to put our block trap on, and this is just an example. I'm not going to leave this here. I'm not going to bait this. This again is just for informational purposes. But you want to make sure that the block is in the upright position. This hole needs to be on top, not on the side or sitting like this. You want to make sure that the hole is straight up and down. So placing that on the log, the next thing I'm going to do is get one of my staples out, and I'm going to nail it into the log to hold it on there. And I'm going to put the staple in the side of the log. I don't want it on top to interfere with the animal walking around. So I'm going to put it down here on the side. Just like that. Doesn't have to be in real far. And then I'm just going to take some snare wire. You can fasten this with a lot of things. This is just some cheap Vietnam era snare wire from the surplus store. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to run a couple of loops through here. Cut it off. Multi-tool. and then simply thread it into our block however many times we want to go around. Of course, the more times you can go through it, the more sturdy it will be to hold it, so that's always a good idea. So we've actually got 4 loops on this, and I'm just going to just quickly twist this together. And there we have it. So here it is, set up on the log. Just give you a close-up from a top view. And it's a very simple trap. It's very easy to make, requires very simple tools. Doesn't require a lot of materials, a couple of staples, 5 nails, and some wire. And also it's very effective. The fellow that I learned this from said that in one season he trapped between 75 and 80 coons using just this method. Alright, now those important details that I told you I was going to get to at the end of the video. First of all, it's very important that this hole be 1 inch in diameter. That's the proper size. Also, when you put the sharpened nails in there, you want a hole left over that's about 1/4 inch in the center. It doesn't have to be perfect, don't have to worry about it being real pretty. The idea is the animal can put his hand in and can't pull it out as it catches on those sharp nails. Of course, the other thing is, don't bore the hole all the way through, or you're going to have to put some sort of a plug in the backside of your block. And finally, and possibly most importantly, this video is for informational purposes only. Never trap without understanding your local trapping laws and regulations. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure and check out the links in the description box below. And while you're down there, make sure and check out the merchandise shelf, which is located just below the description box. There, you'll find great Waypoint Survival merchandise, which you can purchase to help support the channel and the ongoing research that we do to bring you great video content on YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press that bell button so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.